Hello lovely crafty friends, welcome back to Love Builds Up Crafts. I am Sasha and today I'll be sharing how to turn our forgotten backgrounds. I know we have loads of those lying around the craft space, so we'll be using very simple techniques to turn them into this lovely pair of cards. So let's go ahead and get started. So recently, as I was cleaning up my craft room, I ran into a couple of backgrounds that I had made a while ago and I've actually forgotten about them. I know I'm not the only one who experiences this, where you're like cleaning up and then something catches your eye. You can't even remember how you made the background, but luckily for me and for you guys, I remember how I made this background. I used a gel plate. This was my second time using my gel plate actually, and then these stamp inks, dye inks from the stamp market. Yeah, those are the three inks that I used, and I just like dabbed them on the gel press and then used the brayer to rub them around and then just picked up the print. I'm not an expert on like gel press, that's why I haven't reenacted this part just in case I don't get the background this good. But what bothers me about this background is that it's a bit imperfect because of that gap there. Like you can see, even if I put the die cut there, I can still see that gap. I know for most people that doesn't mean anything, but I'm like really OCD. So what I'm going to do is cut out that bit so that now I have these two pieces that I can use for two separate cards, which is a very old technique but is a favorite. And we're gonna do like I think it's called an eclipse technique. Yeah, but don't quote me on that because I know nothing about techniques. Okay, I just make cards. So anyway, I've taken this 5x7 piece of white cardstock and I've trimmed down my gel press panel so that it's just got a little bit of a white border, maybe like just by half a centimeter around all the sides, and then I'm just going to stick it down to the white card. And then I've taken 3 die cuts just out of regular white cardstock and I'm going to stick 2 of them together to give us that beautiful dimension that we all love. And then I'm taking paper GLITZ. This is from Picket Fence. It's just like, it gives it like this sheen. I don't know how to explain the effect, but if you've got glacier paste from Tonic Studios, it does the same thing sort of. It's just like it gives it like this silvery sheen. So I'm just taking a paintbrush because this is a bit more watery than the Tonic Studios one, but it really is just, it just does the same thing. So you can't really see the effect until it is dry, but it dries nice and shiny. So we're just going to pop that to the side so that it dries, and then we're going to take the other die cut of the 3 and just pop it back into that gap there so that we have that bit of a lift, which is what I think is the eclipse technique. But like I said, so guys, I'm really sorry if my voice is sounding really horrible. Like I had COVID recently and then now I've got a cold as well, so you know, life is just knocking me left, right and center. So anyway, our paper GLITZ tree is now dry, and to add dimension, I'm just going to stick the stem down just like as I'm doing in the video. Like sometimes I forget, like even though I'm doing a voiceover, I forget like what I was actually doing. So that's why sometimes it sounds like gibberish. But anyway, what I'm doing now is I'm just lifting the leaf parts so that I can put glue just on the first 2 leaves, and then the other leaves I'm just going to prop up. This is an easy way of giving dimension without having to use foam strips or foam tape or foam squares, any of that. You're just using glue, and all you're doing is just popping glue on the first 2 leaves and then pressing those down and then lifting the rest of the die up, the part that isn't stuck down. And this works really well for dimension because even when you post it, it still remains perked up. It's like a nice set of tits, I guess. I'm joking. Oh my god, I'm joking. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and stamp my sentiment. I'm using the Blessed sentiment from the Erin Lee Creative Grateful Release. Oh my god, I actually forgot to say this at the beginning of my video. Every product I'm going to use, like stamps and dies and stuff, they're from the brand new Erin Lee Creative Grateful Release. But I'm going to link everything in the description below, so don't worry that I forgot to mention that. Okay, so for this next part here, you could just use white acrylic paint, but what happens is like sometimes the white acrylic paint takes on the color of the background, so it doesn't even look white, so it's not as effective. So what I'm doing instead is I'm taking my Wow embossing ink pen. It's got embossing ink there, and I'm just drawing these dots around with the areas where I want to add white detail. Then I'm taking ultra high gloss embossing powder. This stuff is so beautifully shiny and glossy. I really feel like it mimics like melting snow, so I just love adding the extra detail because not only is it white and bright, it also like looks like realistic. I know it's card making, it doesn't have to be realistic, but you know, it's worth giving a try because I really like the effect that it gives. And once the card is complete, you'll see that it just makes the card sing, I think, anyway. So this is the complete card. I did go ahead and add like some sparklies at the top there because I couldn't resist like adding some blingage. So I just used some clear holographic sequins, and the texture, like I mentioned, from the embossing powder is just so, I think it makes this card look a bit more finished. So I just wanted to show you this part here. I'm pressing my die cut down just to show you that it still remains propped up. So even if you do mail this, it will still get to the recipient and it will be propped up, so it's not going to be flat. Okay, so for this next card, I've already gone ahead and layered my die cut. I added 3 layers of white cardstock underneath it, and this just makes it a bit less flimsy, and it just adds that extra dimension without having to use foam tape. So I'm also going to die cut a frame using the die. I really like this shape, so I thought let's make a shape card. And now we're going to do some stencil blending. I'm using this Imperial Purple VersaFine ink. I'm not sure what kind of ink it is because I found it whilst I was cleaning up and I liked it, so I was like, let's use it. I think it is a dye ink, but it could also be a pigment ink, but just use any purple ink that you have, or you can even do a different color altogether. So what I want to do is just like spread out the color from the middle. So I'm just going to lightly ink blend and then use my die cut to gauge how much of the light area I need to cover. And once I'm happy with the light area, I'm just going to go ahead and darken the middle part there. I just want to take a wee little moment just to say thank you so much to all my new subscribers. The channel has grown so much in the past few months, and I'm just so grateful for every single person who has subscribed. I am so thankful, okay? And I want to encourage you to subscribe if you haven't subscribed to my channel, because I do intend to bring out more videos, okay? But you know, I'm also a mom of 3 kids and 2 of them are autistic, so sometimes time is just not my friend. Okay, so anyway, back to the card. I'm just offsetting my die cut there with a dark purple die cut, and this is just to give extra dimension and also to trick the eye into thinking like this is a 3D project. But it's not. And then I'm going to also offset my panel, my white panel, with some purple cardstock, and this is just for aesthetics. I thought it just added a nice look, so why not? And then once that's done, I'm going to now take a pre-made card base. This is an A2 size, so US size, and I'm just going to trace around my shape. This is the easiest way to do it because I added the offset, so I can't use the die, and then I'm just going to trim around the shape, and that will give us a card base. You know, sometimes it's just good to use traditional things, and a scissor still works, okay? It's not everything that requires a die. So once I've stuck the shape to my card base, I'm just going to go ahead and add my die cut there, and then finish it off with some gold metallic paint splatters. And this is our finished card. So I finished it off with the For You sentiment from the same stamp set that we used earlier, and then I also added like this holographic black blingage because it just goes so perfectly with this card. And these are our 2 cards for today, guys. Please comment below which one is your favorite. Personally, they're both my favorite, but I could be biased, so Thank you so much for watching till the end. Please make sure that you follow me on Instagram, because I do post a lot of content there that doesn't make it to YouTube because it takes longer to edit YouTube videos. And also my website is down at the moment because I couldn't manage everything, so I just chose to do YouTube and Instagram for now. So please follow me on those two social media platforms because that's where I'll be posting most of my content. And please, 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 please like and share my videos because it helps with the algorithm and it also encourages me to make more content. Have a lovely crafty day, guys. Bye.